What is up, everyone, and welcome to a special edition of the Danny Show. I'm your host, Daniel Cody. This is where I give commentary and reviews on all things wrestling. Thank you guys so much for being here, and thank you for helping me reach 365. Apparently, all I need is 500. But also, moving forward, let's get into the reason why we're here because today is a rated R day. Whether you know him as Adam Copeland or the rated R superstar Edge, he is just that, the rated R superstar. And this is part three of my top 10 favorite Adam Copeland matches, since we're calling him by his real name this time. First off, at number 10, we have Adam Copeland in his first match at AEW versus Luchasaurus. This is where we will see a great contest. It was pretty good to me. Now, near the end, we saw Christian Cage, who stole The Undertaker's 2018 outtakes quote to throw the TNT Championship, and he wanted Luchasaurus to catch it. But much like The Rock versus Ken Shamrock, when Bossman threw the nightstick and The Rock caught it, Edge caught, or should I say Adam Copeland at this time, caught the TNT Championship belt and hit Luchasaurus with it and would go for the win in his first AEW match. By the way, Christian Cage truly is a stick with a capital D. Next at number 9, we have AJ Styles versus Edge at WrestleMania Backlash from 2022. This was a pretty good one in my personal opinion. We saw AJ Styles do a moonsault, and it's not often that AJ Styles flies like that. I think it's for safety precautions that AJ Styles didn't do a lot of high flying moves in WWE like he used to do in TNA. By the way, it's TNA again, not Impact Wrestling. It's TNA again. Now, back then, AJ used to do a lot of high flying moves, and then he slowed down for whatever reason. Nonetheless, we saw a pretty good one between Edge and AJ Styles, part 2, and we saw both of them give their best moves. However, with Damian Priest distracting AJ Styles and a mystery woman and a mystery person attacking AJ Styles, Edge would go for his crossface like sleeper hold, which he used to make Seth Rollins tap out in 2021 for the victory. And who would the mysterious woman be? Everyone knows her as Mommy Rhea. Next at number 8, we have HBK versus Edge at the Royal Rumble 2005. And this was less than a month after Edge was the first to be eliminated from the 2005 Elimination Chamber at New Year's Resolution with Shawn Michaels as the special guest referee. And with that happening, it will lead up to this. And it was a pretty good match. And it took more than a spear to keep Shawn Michaels down. However, the match would continue. It would be pretty good. And with a roll-up and using the ropes, the Rated R Superstar, before he got that nickname, would go on to win that match and encounter Shawn Michaels again at the Royal Rumble later on that night. Next, at number 7, we have another Royal Rumble. This is Edge versus Jeff Hardy at Royal Rumble 2009. This was a great match to me. We saw Jeff Hardy fly off a ladder onto Chavo Guerrero, who was one of the henchmen of Edge at the time. Then we would see those two go at it. A swanton bomb wasn't enough to keep the Rated R Superstar down, but later on in the match, Edge would get some unlikely and unexpected assistance to win his 4th WWE Championship with a surprise assistant and plot twist from his arch rival Matt Hardy, who actually struck Jeff instead of Matt. That's a plot twist for you. Next, at number 6, we have Edge and Rey Mysterio versus the Judgment Day at the Clash of Castle. First off, this was also much like WrestleMania Backlash. I had the ultimate pleasure of reviewing this. I think this was the first time, first of all, the fans and Cardiff were awesome singing Edge's theme song, and we would see Edge go for a 619 on Finn. We would see a 619 and a spear combo, and Edge and Rey Mysterio would end up winning this match. Unfortunately, that was the night that Simp 19 Dom was born. I can't wait to boo him out of the arena tonight. Next, we have, speaking of Judgment Day, this one's going to be a little bit of a Judgment Day chapter book. Next, at number 5, we have the Judgment Day versus the Grit Couple in a mixed tag team match at Elimination Chamber. This came about because after Edge returned at SummerSlam, no, this was way after that. After that, it would set up for a match between Edge versus Finn. And keep in mind, Finn had done a dastardly deed of being the reason Edge said, "I quit." But this was after they took a concerto to his wife, Beth Phoenix. Rhea, I'm speaking of. This would lead up to their match after Edge returned at Royal Rumble at Elimination Chamber. And we saw some interesting things. We saw Edge and Beth Phoenix go for the Educator submission hold. We also saw the women powerbomb the men at the same time, which was shocking. By the way, I had the pleasure of reviewing this as well. But in the end, it would be an Eradicator, no, not the Shattered Dreams, that would win this for the Grit Couple. And this would also be the night where fans were all over Simp 19 Dom, singing na na na, hey, hey, goodbye, as he ran off and then came back. And listening to Michael Cole put him over as a heel is so much fun. He just helps you hate the guy. Michael Cole would love me for calling him Simp 19. Now, moving on to number 4, we have Edge versus Finn Balor, Demon Finn Balor at WrestleMania this year inside Hell in a Cell. By the way, Armageddon, Hell in a Cell, Fantasy Warfare, Fantasy Warfare, who would win? Short coming soon. Now, we have, this match is where Edge wanted the Demon to come out for his dark side brood persona of Edge. Now, why was the cell not red is beyond me. But nonetheless, it was a good match. The only thing was they were in California, and the California time difference is very different. So whereas it's night on the East Coast, it's sunset on the far West Coast, which means we couldn't get the fullness of the Edge entrance and the Demon entrance if it was somewhere east. Now, that Exorcism promo was also awesome to build it up. But during the match, we saw colorful kendo sticks from Finn Balor and colorful red chairs from Edge. We saw Edge do what the church taught us to do with demons, and that is bind the demon in his name. Bind him! As Edge binded the demon inside the corners of Hell in a Cell with kendo sticks. You bind that demon in his name. But nonetheless, it was an awesome match. The only thing I wish is that the sun had went down and it would have been more entertaining with the entrances. But great match. We saw the way Finn Balor climbed that cell to go for the coup de grace through the table was crazy. You could tell he climbed that cell so fast. It was almost like he was an actual demon. But he missed it and ended up kicking out of a spear and an execution off the ladder. But it was a concerto that set things straight, and Edge would slay the Demon. I think the next time we see the Demon, though, the Demon is going to win because the last two times the Demon has been in action, he has lost twice in a row to Edge and Roman Reigns. Masters of the Spear, by the way. Next, we have at number 3, we have Edge and Rey Mysterio versus Angle and Benoit on an episode of Thursday Night SmackDown on November the 7th, 2002, in a 2 out of 3 falls match. Now, it's bad enough that Benoit and Angle weren't getting along as a tag team that well. Dr. Shelby should have started working then. Before Dr. Shelby counseled Kane and Daniel Bryan, he should have counseled those two because they were just fighting at each other. And the miscommunication also went bad for him in this match, with Chris Benoit accidentally flying headbutting Kurt Angle after Edge had already went for the spear to score the final and second fall, winning the tag team championships. Now, Edge had won the first one. Rey Mysterio got the first one. Edge had tapped out to the ankle lock, but Edge got the second fall. And they would win this one on an episode of SmackDown in another classic, which was a rematch from their first classic at No Mercy 2002. Next, at number 2, we have John Cena versus Edge at Backlash 2009. This was good because they fought everywhere. Edge and Cena are arch rivals. Edge admitted he hated Cena on a promo on WWE TV in 2009. Nonetheless, these two fought everywhere, all over the arena, like Peter Griffin versus the Chicken Mascot. I love those type of matches when wrestlers fight everywhere. But this was one of them. And they fought all over the place. John Cena actually gave an AA to Edge onto the crowd. But near the end, one of the most extreme, brutal endings was when Edge was about to take an AA, but Big Show interfered and choke slammed Cena through the lights, causing an explosion and throwing Cena through glass and explosions. Bad combination. And this was a last man standing match in which Edge would win back the World Heavyweight Championship that John Cena took from him in a triple threat match involving the Big Show at the previous pay-per-view at WrestleMania 25. But what is number 1 on this list? We have Edge versus Sheamus on an episode of Friday Night SmackDown that I had the pleasure of calling. This took place on August 18th, 2023. This would be Edge's last match in WWE and on SmackDown, and it was one of the best matches of SmackDown this year. We saw Edge overcome a brogue kick, and we would see it would take 2 spears to finish off the match, winning his last match, and a match that was rated to be 4 stars ratings, by the way. This would be where they would show sportsmanship in the end, and thankfully Edge won this match in front of his wife and his children. And shortly after that, he would make his debut in AEW Wrestle Dream. But that does it for my top 10 favorite matches of Edge. Let me know in the comment section what was your all-time favorite Edge match or Adam Copeland match. I'm your host, Daniel Cody. Until next time, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys again for another review on all things wrestling. Peace out.